Alrighty, guys, welcome back to a Conservative Confucianist here. All right, we're going to cover some immigration news for you. We got some crazy stuff going on. We've covered a few of these things, here and there. I covered the illegal immigration taking over, or illegal immigrants gangs taking over Aurora and Colorado and doing other crimes across the country. So we're going to dive into those a little bit more, talk about some things going on with that. And as well, we are going to be talking about some of the insane benefits they are getting through our country, through our states, and just really how bad this affects Americans and really like the specifics on what actually is going on. So let's get down to it and do it. Alrighty, don't forget to go down there, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell for notifications, please. Really helps us when you guys subscribe. Alrighty, and don't forget to share this video if you guys like it. Let's get down to it and do it. So we opened up with this. This is from doesn't matter who it's from. Like I said before, this guy posts things that, videos that I might like, but I'm not going to get into the I don't support his channel because he posts things that are, agreeable occasionally does not mean the majority of his stuff is. He's not like as bad as, half the people on Twitter, but he's definitely not someone you want to emulate or promote. So let's get down to it. This is in New York City. So man jumps out from behind the stairwell, grabs the girl, drags her down the stairs before the teen's mother intervenes with the dog and her trying to get back her daughter. Fighting the felon / rapist / murderer off the girl. So yeah, this is the second run through of it in the clip. They show it twice. So as you can see, he was waiting for her. He knew that she was going to come up. He saw her, hid, and then did this. Yeah, this is insane. Yeah. So yeah, here we have. This is from I Mean Therefore I Am. Holy F! Cop tells citizen reporting a crime committed by illegal immigrants that I've arrested a double homicide suspect in the city before I let him walk out the door because we're a sanctuary city. We do not report illegals or undocumented immigrants. So you're just going to let this walk, the citizen says, or just let this guy citizen says, so you're going to let this person who went to prison and committed a crime in America then, who's illegal right now, you're going to let him walk free. I'm sorry, that burps. And the officer says, yes, that's exactly what I'm saying, because we are a sanctuary city. This is Biden-Harris America. And it's going to continue to be Harris America if people don't smarten up.
We'll grab this information and see what we can do, but
it's horrible quality. Let's see if we can get this a little bit nicer for you guys. Ugh. Nope, this is a low quality video.
Like I said,
can you please collect the information? He said that he's already illegal. He already said that he went to...
Okay, hold on, let's back up a little bit. First off, we're a sanctuary city. Even if he is legal here, we cannot call ICE.
Okay, but you still have to report that, right?
No, we don't. Because it's a sanctuary city. We do not report illegal undocumented.
So you're going to let a person who went to prison, he committed a crime in America, who's illegal right now, you're going to let him go free right now to this elevator?
That's exactly what I'm saying, because we're a sanctuary city. I've arrested a double homicide suspect in this city before and let him walk out the door because we're a sanctuary city. We're not going to call ICE to come pick him up and deport him.
Are you shitting me? And it seems like he doesn't want to call ICE, because it's not like I understand saying, I don't agree with sanctuary cities at all. Disgusting, stupid, dumb idea. Let's just say, okay, the person's here. Okay, what am I going to do? They didn't commit a crime. I can't arrest them. This is a sanctuary city. As long as they're not committing crimes, they have the right to be here. That's how I would view a sanctuary city if I was a progressive Democrat. But if they're committing murder, rape, whatever, sorry for my language, I'm grape, whatever, they should be immediately deported without cause, no fuss, nothing, just kicked out the country. Even if we wanted to, and then they should be held in a detention center, either on the border, on the other side of the border, until a court cases can come up in America, where then they can be viewed, they can do a court case, Wi-Fi, Zoom court case thing, and then either be shipped to the country that they're from for prison or here. That's it. We should not be looking at this as oh, well, we're a sanctuary city, so whatever, whatever comes may come. No. If they attack somebody and they're a criminal from another country who comes here and commits more crime after being here, and not just the crime of entering the country, but more and more and more crime, and you say, well, we're a sanctuary city, we can't do anything. I arrested a guy who's committed double homicide, but I just let him go because we're a sanctuary city. You shouldn't be proud of that. You shouldn't even be saying that. Are you insane?
He came to pick up $320,000 from him, or mine, grandmother and grandfather, and he's walking away freely right now, right? That's what I'm understanding right now.
I understand that, but you're asking me to call ICE or the...
I'm not asking you to call ICE. We're just asking you to take seriously that he's trying to repeat offend when he's already illegal.
He flew
repeating
from
what
New
he's
York.
already been doing.
He said, I'm in Chinatown in New York. They pay for his
You can tell this guy must be a legal immigrant, a legal one, because he's got an accent. Sounds like, somewhere in Eastern Europe, probably. This is insane. I mean, this isn't the same. Like, these things are going on everywhere. I mean, you had shelter for illegal aliens causes disturbances in New York cities. Crimes are going insane. Gangs are violent gang crime, all kinds of stuff.
Have been dealing with for the past few months.
I have a lot of loud music. I have big speakers over there in the corner, particularly on the weekends.
Kiko has been living in this building for 32 years and has never seen anything like it. It all started when the once 128-room Wyndham Hotel was turned into a New York City migrant shelter. He and other neighbors have seen kids riding up and down the sidewalk, jumping off porches, and at times taking showers by the spigot and even taking water to cook meals right on the street.
There's like 2 or 3 cars that they use to cook. And then it appears that they're maybe selling the food to the people in the hotel.
And there's
Not only that, they've been illegal immigrant children are literally thousands of them are on the streets of New York right now selling food, whether it's something they've cooked, something they bought, sodas, water, Gatorades, whatever, and they're not accompanied by any adults. They're just illegal, and it's mainly Central and South American people, and they're just selling this on the streets by themselves, walking around with coolers and hot bags and stuff for food, and walking around on the subways and in the streets by themselves when they're 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. And that's just unbelievably irresponsible and stupid, but it's also illegal. And it's a way for the parents to make cash off the children without having to pay taxes or face regulations. You're using their children as a ploy to not get arrested for something that's illegal that other New Yorkers have to pay for, to have a food truck, to have a food selling license, to have a drink selling license. These things you can't just do on the streets unless you're a child and the police feel bad about arresting you. And even if they did, what are they going to do? So that's the point. They're using their children as basically a slave labor to make untaxable profit from them. It's disgusting. I mean, let's just talk about some of the benefits. We'll move in. We'll finish this in a second. We'll move into the next one. This is mainly why I made this. I wanted to talk to you about this. This is the most important things. So illegals in California right now are getting to buy housing. This is the newest. The newest one is a bill coming down the line that is most likely going to be passed, just like everything in California that's progressive. Illegals in California are going to be getting the option to buy a house with nothing down and no interest. Previously, it was 20% down. And let's see. Some of the sources are saying that California will be giving migrants $150,000 loans to buy houses. And if they don't have the money and they don't have to pay the money back until they sell the house whenever. The Biden-Harris administration is also giving $13,000 to $15,000 per adult migrant in EBT, $3.2 to $6.5 in cash assistance, in many cases even giving them 6 months of rent for free, a driver's license when they're not allowed to have it, and discounts on buying cars and plans and everything like that. And they're in cahoots with the car companies because to them it's profit. They make the money from the government, who makes it from us, the taxpayers, and we're buying their cars. And they also get, unlimited free text and internet service on a phone, which they then use for hotspots to pay for their internet, which is hogging up the majority of the bandwidth, which is why so many people are having issues with their phones in high migrant area cities, which is why this is just unbelievable. So many of them are being given welfare, Medicaid, and more, including unemployment and many other things as well. They also get free college tuition for up to 4 years. And this is just, it goes on and on and on and on. They're getting, some of them have been given immediate social security cards the moment they get here. Like they're immediately, like once they get in the system, they're like, okay, well here, we want to get you a social card. We want to get you this. We want to get you that. So then that social can then be taxed by the government, but they don't actually have to pay anything into that. So they're not required to pay the taxes, but the government can still tax them, which really just hurts us more and devalues Social Security in general, which is why Social Security is a fucking mess and it's disgusting right now, and it's going to be screwed unless Trump saves it. Alrighty, so let's get down to it a little bit more. So a Persian Iranian immigrant was interviewed on the border, and he's a real immigrant. Like he's a real refugee who's fleeing the Islamic regime in Iran to come to America where he can practice his Christianity as freely as possible. And he was interviewed on the border, and he said, "I'm terrified. This is insane. I didn't expect it to be this easy to get in, and the fact that it is terrifies me, and it should terrify every single American and American politician. The fact that the American leaders are allowing this is truly upsetting and terrifying for me who wants to live here. I don't want these people coming in. The only reason I came in is because I was a legitimate refugee who knew my status as a refugee was valid enough to enter America under the pretenses of war and violence and oppression in my country. I stand by the American values of meritocracy, freedom, and representative government. But I do not stand by a country that says open borders for all and outcome instead of opportunity. I no longer wish to be here if this is not going to be the values that I'm going to see in my country. All of the people coming into this country are military-aged men from China, the Middle East, and West Africa. Why would I want to flee a country that is importing the very people I fled? If I see all of these people coming in, they're all military aged. Why would I not fear a military aged invasion of men from radical countries that oppress their people? And it goes on. How is it that a Iranian immigrant refugee can recognize America's problems better than 90% of left-leaning Democrat politicians, and somehow his policy prescriptions would be more just and true than anyone else's in that party? Like, I don't understand how someone can sit here and say, oh, this is for, we're doing it for the good of the people. No, if you're being good to someone, and in order to do that, you have to harm everyone else, the majority, that's not being good to anybody, because eventually the people that are in the minority will become part of the majority, and then they'll be hurt. So it's a never-ending cycle of help this person, hurt them, and then they become part of that group of the majority eventually, because they finally find their way in this mess. And then then the new groups come in and they say, okay, we're going to get help. Then the rest are like, hey, I don't know, dude, you're hurting me. And eventually they realize, okay, I can't have that. We can't do that anymore. That's why you see so many illegal immigrants voting for Trump, you see so many legal immigrants voting for Trump, because they're like, hey, I came in here the right way. Or some who didn't and were blessed with, citizenship, were saying, I don't agree with this. I don't want my options, my positions, my life being turned around and upside down for people who don't respect our country, our laws, and our values. It's that simple, people.
Socorro has been living at the shelter with his wife and 2 kids for approximately 3 months.
Para salir tienen que firmar.
He says people at the shelter have to sign in and out, and a 9 p.m. curfew was implemented last Thursday.
It should
to
be.
ensure families and kids are in their rooms at that time.
Son personas que tienen permiso de trabajo.
And adds the only people who are allowed to stay out past 9 are people that have a special permit, usually related to their shift at work.
I see a lot of people after 9 p.m. A lot of kids I see them at 12 o'clock and 1 o'clock in front of the building with their bicycles. Nah, they don't go back at 9 o'clock.
And you're sure they're the kids from the shelter?
Yeah, because there's no other kids around here. There's no families. There's not a lot of people that live around here.
Yeah, I mean, this is just insane. This is from Aguero for Texas. We've covered them a whole bunch. So multiple gang members are being apprehended upon the border, trying to hide themselves by covering up tattoos and everything.
¿Qué pandilla eres?
No hay ninguna pandilla.
No, solamente tienes que complejo de pizarrón.
All of your shirt off.
¿Sí? Sí, a ver. De los Latin Kings, algo así.
Yep, there it is, crown right there,
Estados
Latin
Unidos.
King's crown.
Vuelta. Que guarda la camisa.
Oh,
Guarda esto
smiley
ahí.
faces. Killer.
Guarda eso ahí. Guarda en la mochila. A ver. ¿Tu documento? ¿Dónde está tu documento? No, no, el de él.
Yep, another one.
¿Has estado en la cárcel antes? No, señor. Contrato. Date la vuelta. ¿De qué parte eres? De Colombia.
Oh, there you go. Yep, clown face, another one. That's a popular one. A clown face, another one.
Alza los brazos.
Crown. There you go. Latin King again.
Okay.
Could be connected to other Venezuelan gangs, possibly. Yeah, crowns and clown faces are popular with Mexican gang members. Or crowns for the Latin Kings, but clowns are one of the biggest ones. So I wanted to show you proof that these people are getting this kind of money. I've done a whole bunch of posts on it. I've posted like 4 or 5 different receipts, video. I've also posted videos of people being interviewed like, hey, I work here and this is what I've seen. This comes from a person who was working there. And this is at, I can't remember which fast food place. Let's see if I can see. I think this one was at Burger King, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so they bought their food on EBT for $24, and it says the balance right here, cash balance. This is the, EBT balance is $13,401, and their cash balance is $4,498. So as you can see, what I said was right. The minimum I've heard that some people are getting their cash assistance is $5,500, but the average is around like 6.5 up to like, more, but it really depends on the person, the individual and their family. I've heard that people who have families can get up to 20 grand in cash, 20 grand in EBT and 10 to 12 grand in cash. So, and that's per parent, not like it's crazy, dude. So yeah, volunteers, not just Hell's Angels, what we've heard is showing up in Aurora to take back the city, but other gangs are coming out there and volunteering, and not just like gang, like it's just individual gang members or former criminals going out there to take back the city because they're done,
Venezuelan gangs, we're here to chase you off.
This guy and this girl, I've seen her on social media somewhere. But then another guy pulls up right when this happens.
Oh, we don't know. Look, we got another one right here. What's up, bro? Look, we're down here to fucking take our country back.
Ain't no question. We ready out here.
You guys want to mob down or what? I got a megaphone in the car.
Yeah. What's
your
name, bro? I'm Big Ma, bro.
Yeah, we down here.
Yeah, it's gonna get crazy. So yeah, and I mean, I live in Arizona. And so according to this guy's story and some other people, it's pretty crazy. Arizona Mills Mall in Tempe, which I used to go to religiously. I used to live in Tempe, like literally like 3 miles from this mall. I used to go there and see movies with friends. I would shop there because it just had all the stores I needed. I'd get my furniture there occasionally. It was the place I went. And this is insane. This man, his daughter almost was snatched off him. And according to multiple other people and stories have been coming out of this, it's kids are being kidnapped in large numbers from it. I've heard this before. Years ago, I heard that this is a popular place for kids to be kidnapped. And I was like, oh, it's just a mall. It's what you hear. It's a mall. We live in Arizona. There's Mexican gangs and cartels and whatever. It's a mall. It'll happen. But I was completely wrong. It's like out of control. Like, if you're with your child, you don't leave your child. Like if they're under the age of 16 or they're a woman and they're there by themselves at all, you do not leave them. Like it is that bad. So this is from Wall Street Apes.
Mills Mall with my daughter. I take her into a toy store. Bless you, baby. I take her into a toy store and we were there for a few minutes. Just wasn't feeling the vibe. It was a weird vibe from the kid. And we leave the toy store, and I swear to God, my daughter's like 2 steps behind me, I'm walking out the store. I notice a dude cutting me off from behind, like in between me and my daughter. So as I'm exiting the store, I look back and he's touching the top of her head like this. And if I wouldn't have looked back, when I looked back, I already felt something. And this all happened in an instant. So I look back and I catch him doing this over her head like he knew her. And it was some Mexican cat that didn't even speak English. So I'm going off. And first I had to, it happened so fast that I'm in shock. I just tell my daughter, come here. But everything's registering, right? Like that doesn't happen often. So my mind's like, if I hit this dude, like if I spaz, all they're gonna see is me spazzing. They're not gonna see why I'm pissed. I don't even have to explain.
Yeah, I mean, I would have actually done the same thing. I wouldn't have gone after him because I don't trust Arizona Mills Mall's security cameras. They're old and crappy. They most likely don't work, or at least they could say they don't work because they don't want to have to deal with, all that. So I wouldn't trust it either. If I had that happening, I would grab my daughter and leave. And if I saw him follow us out, then I would do something because I know the ones in the parking lot work because someone hit my car in the parking lot I don't know, like three years ago or something like that, scratched it, and I had to get the tape to bring it to court. So yeah, these things, it's hard to figure out what to do or what to do in the moment. You want to attack the dude because you're in your right to do so, but like, what do you do? Do you risk not only that, like what do you risk getting arrested and your daughter taken to services, or do you like just say, hey, they'll know I was in the right and let me go? Or do you like risk the cameras not working as well? Like, I mean, you have to think multiple, like dozens of things through all at this, like an instant. Like, it's like, okay, grab my daughter and leave or bash this dude's head in. Like, you also don't want your daughter to see that half the time, like she doesn't know at that age. That's just terrifying for her. She doesn't know you're protecting her. She just sees daddy beating up on a dude who maybe even she thought the dude was being nice to her. She doesn't know any better, and you don't want to traumatize her. So there's a lot of things you got to run through.
Why that shit isn't okay. And so I walk a little bit towards the left out of the store, and I'm at Arizona Mills Mall, mind you. And my daughter sees some scooters. She hops on the scooters, and I turn my back. I look around. I look back at the store that we came out of, and sure enough, those the dude that touched her head came out, and there was a lady with him. Yep. There was a lady with him, and then two other dudes. But the lady dispersed. It's like he told her something. Like first of all, when they came out of the store, as soon as they came out, they looked in the direction that we left, and they came this way. But he didn't see me standing like a ways. You know what I mean? Just watching them, and I wish I would have got that on camera. But like I said, I'm still in shock. So at this point, they're coming towards me, and when they finally notice me that I'm staring at them, I wish I would have had that part recorded. I was still in shock, but I got video footage of them, and that's what I'm going to show you. And I'm not backing down. So I'm yelling in his face. I'm like, don't touch kids in here. Don't do that. Like, you don't do, but as I'm explaining like what he did wrong, I'm like, nigga, you know what you did. Like, so now I want to beat his ass, and all people can see is just this angry black guy, right? Typical situation. So then I just say, fuck it. And I start recording them, and their behavior, if you're a parent, like, man, part 2 coming up.
Yeah, we'll see if we can find more on that later. Let's just get through this video. Yeah, so here's more South American gangs beginning to take over buildings in the United States. It's getting worse and worse.
32 armed Venezuelan gang members taking over an apartment complex in Chicago. First, it was Aurora, Colorado. Now Chicago is experiencing something very similar. It's going to start happening in cities all across America with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden leading the country. They're letting in millions of uninvited people.
32 Venezuelans are trespassing the building, showing guns in the courtyard, and they have motorcycles.
32 armed Venezuelans.
Yeah, I mean, when's enough, guys? This is from Nick Sorter. He's on Tim Pool a lot. More of this kind of crap. The Mexican government will be now busing illegal immigrants from the Mexico's southern border directly into the U.S. and provide them with a police and military escort along with food all the way. So yeah, Mexico is now openly and admittedly aiding and abetting an invasion into the U.S. Yeah, I agree. Cut off all aid now. Because Joe Biden's a dumbass. That's why we're still giving him money. He's like, why are we still giving him money? Because Joe Biden's a dumbass. This is what's going on in El Paso. This is what happens when we drop them off. We've seen these things for months, but now they're getting like more. Seriously, I mean, look what Poland does. They shoot people who try to break through the borders. Like, I'm not saying I want to hurt people, but if you come into this country illegally and we say, do not come, and you try to come, that's it. You forfeited your life. Like, if someone breaks into my house and I say, hey, you come through that door, you're getting shot. And they're like, oh, hey, whoa, bro. And I'm like, come on, dude, don't do that. That's not nice. And it's like, I don't give a shit. You're trying to break into my house, bro. This is my domain. Get out. And you're like, oh, no, I'm not going to do that. And they break in. I'm like, all right, well, you forfeited your life. Your life is over. That's it. Boom, boom, boom. Done. That's it. Okay. How come we can't do that for our own country? Why is it wrong to do that for American citizens when it's not wrong to do it for your family, your wife and your child? Some people may say it is wrong to do it for your wife and child, but those people are losers. More from Wall Street Apes. Yeah, it's over for the Democratic Party. People are waking up all over the country. Even elderly black women, they're done.
Y'all find money for them. Yeah. But you can't find money for us. Right. Do you all realize that CTU has it in their contract that is up for negotiations this year, where they're going to be giving more money to migrants than they're going to be giving to support our teachers?
Yeah, I mean, you have Chicago, which has given over $200 billion to migrants. You have Colorado, which is over 75 million, I think, or 76 million now. Arizona, which has given over 74 billion, not million in Colorado. And I think over 100 billion I think it's 112 billion in Arizona, close to 200 billion in Texas. Actually, I think it's actually 264 now. Yeah. I think it's 264 in Texas. You're at like 115 billion in Florida. I mean, why is it? And Florida and Texas don't want to spend that money. They're forced to, because this is where a lot of the migrants were getting shipped to or coming out on boats, whatever. Texas, especially in Arizona, they don't want to spend that money. They have to, because we're a border state. Like, what else do we have? Like, what can we do? Like, they're letting them in. We're on the border. It's basically like going to your house. Yeah, this is exactly what it's like. This is exactly what it's like dealing with Biden and this border policies. It's like going to your home, inviting your friend over, be like, hey buddy, you want to come over to my house? I'm like, yeah, bro. All right. And you're like, hey, you want to stay the weekend? He's like, yeah, sure. All right, cool. And then you're there and he's like leaving your door unlocked or wide open. He's just leaving your front door unlocked and wide open. And you're like, hey bro, like, my house, you can't do that. And he's like, no, it's not nice to do that. People need to be able to come in and out. It's like, yeah, but this is my house. You want to do that at your house? Go ahead. Cool, man. Like, do it at your house, but this is my fucking house. Like, close the damn door and lock it. It's like, no, that's just not nice. And I'm like, I don't give a shit if it's not nice, bro. This is my house. My house, not yours. Okay, that's how I feel. Biden doesn't run every state. He doesn't even run the country. A president is not meant to run the country like people think. A president is just a placeholder for nothing more than a person who's supposed to make sure that the individual branches of government do their job efficiently and to make sure that he is the voice of the American people. We've lost that. Trump embodies that. No matter how many people say he thinks he's going to be a king, a tyrant, a dictator, the reason why he might say those things is because guess what? That's what the people want. Like, they don't want a king or a tyrant or a dictator, but they do want a guy who's going to go in there and kick some ass. And that's what they want. Like, they want a guy who's going to be a dictator for one day, which is what he said. Not even close to what he said. He doesn't want to be a dictator forever. And no matter how many people say he wants to, you're an idiot if you think that. So why are we allowing these people to represent us when they don't even represent us? Like, it makes no sense.
In what world is that okay? You want to give migrant kids $2,000 a month for a stipend in your contract? What about the rest of the kids who are hungry and suffering here in Chicago? Do you not think that it is just migrant kids who are suffering, who are not able to eat, who are dealing with homelessness? granted. You're not going to continue to disregard the importance of our vote. So we're saying here today, go Trump 2024. We got you, Donald Trump, in the city of Chicago. We're supporting you because what we're saying to the Democratic Party is, y'all not going to continue to play in our face. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I love that video. Posted by, I think it said Wall Street Apes. That's right. Alrighty, guys. Yeah, I appreciate you guys doing it and coming down for my video. Don't forget to go down there, smash that like button. Don't forget to go down there and hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. Like I said, help going down there, subscribe really helps with the channel. Don't forget to go do that, guys. And don't forget to share this video if you guys like it. I appreciate you coming down. And don't forget to come out and check out more videos in the future. Alrighty, you guys have a good one.